A YouTuber named Cup Stewart lives on the cusp of the rainforest in Indonesia. Tonight he is investigating rumors of a small creature haunting the woods to see if it's real. He goes exploring where the creature was last seen and lays a trap. After a while, something with a white face and long hair comes out of the forest and lowers into the cage.
Nice, mantap. Tuh, dia mau bawa kandang terbang tuh, cuman nggak bisa dia keberatan begini tuh, Pak. Bisa bawa terbang kandang itu nggak, soalnya dia kandang mau dibawa terbang nih, Pak. Tunggu aja lainnya, kita tunggu. Oke, ya.
From the woods approaches a tall figure, a man rumored to live isolated from the rest of the island. He subdues one of them, and while Cup Stewart is checking on the condition of his friend, the stranger lets his pet humanoid creature free from its cage and runs extremely fast out of sight. This video has over 8 million views and about half the people think it really happened. I honestly can't say I agree. For one, the creature pretty obviously looks like a puppet in my opinion. I think somebody wearing black is standing behind this cage and moving it around with their arms. They also put the camera really far away from the cage. Almost anyone would put the camera right up there. They keep it far away in my opinion because it probably looks too fake close up. The man running away looks kind of weird, but it could be sped up or special effects. Even though this video is fake in my opinion, I'm including this on the list because it's gone viral and deserves an honest analysis. Tell me if you think it has any possibility of being real. This ghostly figure is the Thief of Souls, published by Land on TV in November of 2021. This man encountered an obscure figure lurking on an empty road at night. After wandering through a quiet village in the late hours, the man spies the silent figure in the darkness.
Ada binikot! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
He walks in another direction but soon sees the figure again. As he yells at the shadowy figure, it moves away into the darkness. Later, it seems he spies the figure up in the trees, either having climbed it or perhaps even hovering in the air. What does this thing want? I'm guessing his soul. This home in Villisca, Iowa is where an axe-wielding maniac once took the lives of an entire family and 2 guests. Whoever did it was never brought to justice, and now, more than 100 years later, the restless spirits of those left behind have yet to find peace. A YouTuber named Lighthouse Music senses the spirit of children hiding in the closet and starts recording. She speaks in a nice tone and offers candy. Nothing happens for some time until... Then, as if further proof was needed, the spirit appears to follow some other basic commands.
Just a little bit further, or can you close it?
They even ask the child to open the door wider than before as a test, and it timidly seems to obey. But the part that really has me convinced is at the very end.
Just in case that was you, I'm going to do as promised. I'm going to leave you some candy. I'm going to leave it right here, over here on this chair for you, okay? Well, thank you.
Notice how the door shuts harder than any other time in the video as soon as the spirit gets what it wants. Maybe it could be a draft from a nearby window opening and closing the door, but this definitely seems like childlike behavior to me. The power goes out and a man must go into the basement to find the circuit breaker. There's only one problem.
This is where I heard the booming at night.
Once he gets downstairs, his beam is swallowed in the darkness, and while fumbling around, he barely catches a glimpse of a pale face down there with him. And by the time he gets the flashlight to work again, it's already too late. Whatever this is a face of, ghost or otherwise, I doubt it's a mask because at 50 seconds you can see its mouth open and its smile fade away as it lunges forward. It doesn't grab him and he is able to get away, so if this is real, then it could be one of the highest resolution ghost sightings ever caught on camera to date. What would you do if you saw this happen before your very eyes? Share to TikTok by Tigraz. This crazy video has me doing a double take. The footage shows a girl at a trampoline park jumping up and down like normal. At first, nothing's off, but then... After kneeling, she bends backwards, takes the opposite angles of each leg with her hands, and manages to fold herself around in such a bizarre way that you would think she's possessed. What is this madness? I think this girl is double jointed, also called hypermobile. This involves joints that can move beyond the typical range. About 20% of people are hypermobile, but many are not to this extent. At least there's no need for an exorcism. Salmon is supposed to be good for you, but this piece has something extra inside of it that definitely isn't.
Maybe they'll give me a discount on that one.
As he captures the creature on video, 25 seconds is when the worm finds a soft spot and plunges back inside. This video is especially terrifying when you realize this is not abnormal, nor is it the store's fault. Most salmon is infected with these worms, and improper cooking could introduce a live one into your system. So remember, worms wiggling in your food is a common occurrence that is occasionally caught on tape, and don't forget that you're still eating crunchy ones even when properly cooked. I think they should put a label about it on the packaging because most people probably don't know about this slimy little problem and could have eaten them already, including me and you. Remember that guy who was caught on a Ring doorbell video licking someone's doorbell? Well, we've just found his soulmate. Posted in December of 2017, the footage shows a young blonde woman approach the doorbell. At first, it appears as if it was provoked by a dare. The woman walks up to the doorbell, holds up her hands strangely, as though she knows she's on candid camera, and then looks over to her right, as if looking at someone out of frame. But then she walks back, just standing awkwardly, looking around at random, before approaching the door again. Is she waiting for someone to answer? Maybe, but what she does while waiting is not normal. The woman opens her mouth wide, moving closer to the camera, and you can actually hear her bite. She then backs away again, as though nothing happened, appears to be waiting for a moment, then starts to do this. Well, it's all well and good to get your daily exercise in. Doing that on someone's doorstep late at night after biting their security camera seems a little out of it, don't you agree? This 1994 video footage was recovered somewhere in the South American country of Paraguay. The footage itself is just some kids hanging out together late at night, but the audio is completely messed up and sounds like something straight out of the underworld. More than one viewer has said they've heard subliminal messages from this video, which is little more than a series of 5-second clips pasted together. At one point, we see a disjointed figure standing in a strange pose, followed by this deep noise. I guess this sound could be distortion from an aged tape, but in my opinion, it almost sounds like a possession at times. Let me know if you agree that there's something sinister about this video, and if any of these kids could have had a spirit lurking inside of them. Yet another reason not to answer your door to a stranger. Published to YouTube in May of 2016 by Ring, the Ring surveillance footage shows an aggressive man approach the front door of this California home. He stares right into the security camera, says hello, listens in with his ear to the system, but then immediately takes a step back and kicks hard at the door, trying to bust it open. The homeowner Andrew interacts with the stranger, telling him to leave his house or he'll call the police.
Hey! Stop that.
Okay?
Leave my house or I'm calling the police.
Okay, what you need to do...
Hey, leave my house. Stop now or I'm calling the police.
The stranger tries to take charge of the situation, saying what you need to do, before the homeowner interrupts him, rationally telling him he will call the authorities. The man strangely responds, "Why would you do that?" And the patient homeowner explains, "Because you're trying to push my door in." After telling him again to leave, the man says he'll smash what's in there. The homeowner simply states once again that he's calling the authorities.
Why would you tell me that?
Because you're trying to push my door in. Leave now.
I'm about to smash what's in there.
I'm calling the police.
Luckily, this one ended as well as can be expected. Andrew writes, "The police did respond within 5 minutes. I wasn't home at the time, but motion detection did alert me that someone was near my front door." It's videos like this one that will make you grateful not to have to encounter these outside people. Om is a popular YouTuber from Delhi, India, who for 2 years has been steadily growing his channel Om Vlogs. At first, he would do normal things like go to a museum or an amusement park, but about a year ago, he started to get into ghost hunting. Now, he goes on ghost hunting explorations all the time, and they are really good. Delhi has a population of about 30 million people, so we are talking about a single city with as many people as the whole state of Texas, which means plenty of places to explore and plenty of ghosts to be found. So recently, Om Vlogs went to a building that was so cursed he wouldn't say the name of it or where it was, only that it was a restaurant in his hometown where something horrendous happened that made them close down and never reopen. On May 13th of 2020, they visit it for the first time, or at least try to. They don't get far because a presence guarding the area won't let them go inside. They stay at what they mistake for a safe distance and peer in. There's a light that's orange here at 8 minutes and 9 seconds coming from an otherwise dark room. They don't see anything else and chance a closer look. Om is talking more about the place when a mysterious shadow descends the wall at 12 minutes and 23 seconds. A minute later, they learn beyond a doubt that something is inside.
आवाज देखी
आवाज नहीं देखी ये देख उधर के ईंट निकल गई है.
His friend is standing next to him, so it's not him. They dare not enter, but they stick around for a bit longer. At 15 minutes and 22 seconds, a single pixel goes white while recording a room on the 2nd floor. When they zoom out, the light mysteriously goes away, but not before more black shapes pass over it. By now, it's getting late, so Om is wrapping up the video when he senses something watching him and points out a shadow figure that only he can see in person. It doesn't show up on camera, at least not that I can see, but you should remember this area for later, because things are about to ramp up. Apparently whatever is in there is not happy to see them again when they return a few weeks later. This time a white-robed figure with a demonic head and 2 horns leans on the brick wall, as if taunting them to try and go in, which they don't notice and proceed to do. They shine their light into a blown-out window, and eyes waverly reflect at 7 minutes and 5 seconds. The restaurant is obviously no longer taking reservations. They stand and brace themselves for whatever comes next, and when nothing happens, they decide to explore a few rooms before returning to the main area. As they think about whether to leave or not, a terrible feeling washes over them, and their camera goes out of focus like something is near, and it is. Om puts his hand up to shield the group from something they can't see but we can. At 10 minutes and 58 seconds, it's coincidentally standing in the exact same place where Om thought he saw something the first time. The building becomes more displeased with each passing moment.
तो कुछ आप क्या कुछ ऐसा करके दिखा सकते हो?
But when they go into the room to leave, its guardian is absolutely gone. I guess it knew they were leaving and letting them pass without harm, and I think I heard a fire alarm at 11 minutes and 18 seconds even though the place clearly doesn't have one. I suspect it once burnt down, and what you heard was paranormal residual energy from the event. Ohm never does reveal the location, but there is a comment left by someone who thought they recognized the location, and I thought this was interesting. If someone could please confirm that this location is on the Cardinal Bypass Road in Delhi, that would be helpful, and tell us anything else you know about its haunted history. These two unidentified flying object sightings are eerily similar, posted on Reddit by GamersGen. These two sightings from Miami and Beijing are comparative. The first appeared in Beijing on February 3rd, 1995. The unidentified flying object hovers as an illuminated yellow disc in the evening sky. After a while, it starts to glide slowly overhead. GamersGen posts a second video in the comments, one which looks similar to the first but was captured on October 20th, 1995. This unidentified flying object was spotted along a freeway. The driver pulled over to capture it hovering near an apartment complex and then over Miami Airport. GamersGen suggests that today, unidentified flying objects aren't seen as often for a reason. His theory? They have become more cautious, and further said, they seem to be extremely aware of us observing them, and above all, they don't want to be compromised. What do you think? It makes sense to me, and these two sightings are certainly quite similar. A YouTube channel called 3/Amir AMR searches for what his video title roughly translates into English as the most dangerous magician. Though its glowing eyes make it look less human and more like a jinn, the Arabic word for demons and spirits. The way the eyes come into focus at 1 minute and 4 seconds looks pretty good, but I think it might be special effects because the overall resolution seems to briefly drop. White and red eyes look at him from outside of a window, and there's a really good look at them here at 2 minutes and 15 seconds. But these eyes look like they could be any of the city lights shown here when he goes outside. He does see the djinn standing outside of a window, eyes glowing white as ever. It disappears, then he sees either the same creature or possibly another one in the building directly behind him. Now feeling surrounded, he turns and flees this entire area, but not before catching glowing eyes looking at him from the window within. When a drone drifted over the residential area in Overland Park, two boys on bikes spotted it overhead, and that's when they jumped off their bikes to have a go at it. You can see one of the kids pick up something, which is presumably a rock, in order to ready aim and fire at the drone, but it's much too high to actually knock it down. The kids follow it for a while, but don't come close enough to truly threaten it, although they do make a valiant effort to do so, chucking a rock or two its way. Eventually they give up, but the drone doesn't. It continues to follow them for a good 8 minutes, with the boys getting fed up enough every now and then to stop and throw more rocks. Certainly a scary encounter for both parties involved. There's something lurking around this haunted place, shared by TikToker The King Horror. The kid who saw it with his own eyes cried in fear. After racing far away from the place, they turn back, and then they see this. This hooded figure is something nightmares are made of, and he's the perfect villain for bedtime. The Mikey Mike channel encounters a bizarre sighting in the clear blue sky that leaves him freaked out. The creepy moments were also caught on dash cam, so we can have a look too.
One word, in case you missed it, I'll give it to you again right now. It's easy. E-A-S-Y. Now what you want to do is take that code word easy and text that.
What the hell? Where the f*** did this come from?
A bolt of lightning touches down on a sunny day, no rain. Hardly any clouds in the sky, and the few hanging around have not even a touch of gray.
There's no clouds here. Look, no clouds. Like it just came from space.
Mikey can't shake the feeling that he's seen something he was never meant to see. This video got me curious, and I was able to find a second one like it, half as long and twice as weird.
Oh, I hope I got that time. I don't know if I did or not. It's in the corner over here.
At 1 second, a flash of lightning touches down without intersecting with a cloud at all. It seems to just literally come out of the blue. I looked up what this was and came across a term called dry lightning that I have heard before but never really studied in depth. This is a name for what happens when precipitation evaporates really fast. It's technically raining, but we just don't notice because rain doesn't reach the ground, but lightning does. These two videos basically mean you can get struck down by a random bolt at any time, even on a nice day. There really is no safe time to stand under trees or by anything metal when you consider that this is apparently a common phenomenon. You might have almost gotten struck by lightning plenty of times without even noticing it because it's silent and you probably weren't looking up. Freaky, right? This spooky midnight sighting is quickly becoming known as the ghost boy under the stairs. It could simply be a bug walking across the camera, but what's weird is how it seems to stay confined to the area under the steps. Then at 15 seconds, it reaches the farthest corner and vanishes. Take a look again and tell me if you think this is real or special effects. Even the person who uploaded this video says they didn't believe in the supernatural until seeing this at their job. Sometimes you just want to kick back and relax, and then this happens. Published to YouTube in February of 2018, this YouTuber from Brandon, Manitoba, Canada writes, "Was watching TV when I heard noises, started to record and caught this." My apartment has things going on. In the clip, the uploader says he's been hearing some unexplained banging in the apartment. Soon the source of the banging demonstrates that he means business. A chair scrapes towards the camera across the floor on its own. Then behind it in the other room, a garbage can flips right over. It seems something in this house is out to get him. As Devon the 9th Hokage advises in the comments, you have to get out of there. Take Devon's advice before it's too late. This definitely looks paranormal to me. When you want to get away from it all and get back to nature, camping is an ideal way to self-isolate, but sometimes you're not alone. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by WillyComics64, the Redditor writes, "I found this guy near my campsite, and I don't know who he is or where he came from." The clip shows a man lurking in the trees near Willy's campsite. He appears and then just as quickly vanishes. While some in the comments don't find this all that odd, as hiking is part of camping, others think it's just a little weird that the stranger didn't introduce himself and just seemed to disappear in an instant. Willy explains in the comments that the situation freaked him out because no one was renting the site next to him, and he didn't see this man at any other campsite or on the trail that loops around the campground. Redditor Laura Malia 649 writes, "And this is why I fear people when I camp more than the wildlife around me." Others think that the man acted very suspiciously and hoped that the Redditor has something to protect himself with. Redditor Faker Hoach 10,000 suggests that perhaps the man was growing deep in the woods and just came out to look after his plants. Willy can only hope that these assessments are right, because if this man is anything other than a hiker, a camper, or a grower, then who knows what his intentions are. What is this creepy figure skulking in the darkness? The group encountered the creature at night hiding behind a pile of logs.
Have this. Come on, let's go. Hey, come on, let's go. Come on.
The figure appears like a woman, but not quite human. Take a closer look. Is this an extraterrestrial? A ghost, perhaps? Your guess is as good as mine. Thank you so much for getting me to 30,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 40,000 subscribers next. Thank you.